Hi everyone, I'm David Scranton, and thank you for clicking on today's video. In late 2020, I actually did a show about how the coronavirus has sparked an increase in the interest in annuities. And if you think about it, this should be no surprise, because times of great uncertainty always tend to open people's eyes to the importance of financial security and retirement income. And as a result, they want to learn more about tools and strategies that are geared toward income, including annuities. And to help us out, of course, on today's topic, because it's an important topic when we talk about the pros and cons of annuities and are they even right for you, it's time to bring in today's guests. Of course, first of all, my good friend Jeff Small, president of Arbor Financial Services, a retirement income store located in Melbourne, Florida. Jeff, always great to be here with you, as usual.
Great to be here, Dave.
And it's time to bring in today's special guest, and that's Ed Slott. He's an author, public speaker, and television host. Ed has also been called the best source for IRA advice and America's IRA expert. Ed, thanks so much for joining us here on The Income Generation.
Yeah, great to be back with you. Happy New Year all around.
Happy New Year to you too.
Happy New Year, Ed, since I haven't talked to you since last year. So listen, we're talking about annuities today, and recently, believe it or not, Ed, I was able to do a Roth conversion inside of an annuity, which was really cool because the annuity allowed us to compartmentalize the Roth versus the IRA side, and so the clients could do whatever percentage they want. That's remarkable. So tell us how you feel about annuities, because I know you're talking about them on your new show on PBS, and congratulations on that, by the way.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah, that will be coming out, and you'll love the title. It's called Ed Slott's Retirement Freedom. And the core theme is to get your plan, not the government plan. And one big part of that is to have guaranteed income in retirement. Matter of fact, one of my always rules, and just so you know, anybody watching, I'm a CPA, a tax advisor. I do not sell stocks, bonds, funds, insurance, annuities, but they're a clear part of most people's financial plan in retirement. And one of my always rules is in retirement, income is always more important than savings because savings can run out, not for everything, but with this crazy stock market we have, as you're getting closer to retirement or already there, what you should be worried about is protecting what you already have. Because if you have a stock crash, which it's just a matter of time, you live long enough, you're going to have a crash. But if you're too old, you may not have the years to recover from that from that stock crash. So you have to have a buffer, a guardrail, whatever you want to call it, not for everything. Of course, you want to keep some money in the market, but it has to be buffered. I have that myself. The only thing better to me than guaranteed income is in retirement is what I have and what I heard you talk about. The only thing better than guaranteed income is guaranteed tax-free income. And I have a version myself of what you just talked about in my Roth IRAs. Sure. I have a big stock account, but I have it buffered with annuities in my Roth. So if I ever need income, I get guaranteed income. It's a buffer to the stock market, and it's tax-free as well. I think those two things are very important. And
believe it or not, Ed, I didn't even know that. That's uncanny. So I'm not surprised, though, because great minds think alike.
Now, Ed, let me ask you, do you find that most people understand annuities, or do you find that for most folks, annuities are just a big mystery, which maybe is part of the reason you have your new television show to help demystify it?
Yeah, it is a big mystery because there's so many bells and whistles and different features on each product. And you really have to know which features you have on yours. And you have to understand it. If you don't, maybe work with a financial advisor that can explain it in English so you can explain it to somebody else. That to me is the test. If you can't talk to your friend or your neighbor and explain what you have in English, then you don't know what you have. So that's important too. But never forget the long-term benefit. Remember, one of the most important things you can have in retirement, well, let's put it this way. The greatest gift you can give to your family is not to have, is the gift of your own financial security. The last thing anybody wants is to be a burden, or here's a better way to put it. The greatest gift that you can give to your children is to not move in with them.
Ed, we've gone through the greatest economic expansion in the last 11 years since the Great Depression and the largest money printing in history. And we all know, even Main Streeters in America know, what happens after that kind of a time frame and expansion of the markets. So explain to us how your new show is going to help people understand how to protect their wealth in retirement through annuities.
Well, one of the big items is risk. That's a key pillar. Actually, my show talks about the 4 pillars of retirement freedom: freedom from taxes, freedom from worry, freedom from risk, and the biggest one, freedom from bad advice, because the internet is everywhere and people are relying on sources, betting their retirement savings, the house, the 401ks on a post on Facebook or something. It's crazy. So, but one of the big freedoms is freedom from risk. I'm talking about 2 kinds of risk there: stock market risk, and the number one fear in America, I call it longevity risk, the risk of the worry about living too long and running out of money. You know, living a long and healthy life should be a bonus, not a punishment. You shouldn't be worried about running out of money. Now, the stock market is crazy. It's up and down and up and up and up. But what goes up, as you said, may come down. Even the Wall Street Journal recently, and if there's any one publication that is the most pro-stock stock market publication, it's the Wall Street Journal, ergo the name Wall Street. Even they called it a casino. So this is where you are with your retirement money. If your money's going up and up, and that's great, but imagine you're at a casino, you're at the table, you're winning and winning some more. The chips are piling up, they're over your head, you can't even see. What would anybody do? They would take those chips off the table and lock in your gains and use some of that to guarantee income. That's where annuities can come in, to take those gains off the table. So if you've got the benefit of locking in big gains and then using some of that money for income, for guaranteed income, because I believe that at least for your basic monthly living expenses, those should be guaranteed with guaranteed income. You can't take a chance on that, because if the stock market tanks, what are you going to do? And I've heard all the horror stories of older people, friends of my mother, for example. My mother had all these annuities and she loved it. She got these checks every month, no matter how old she got, no matter how sick she got, no matter how the stock market performed. But some of her friends were loaded up in the stock market and they had to change their whole lifestyle. They couldn't go to Broadway shows with her like she used to do. She would go alone because they couldn't replace that income. So there's a big, this is what I worry about, having guaranteed income for life and reducing stock market risk. Now, you asked about the negatives to annuities. The negative is you have guaranteed income, so you won't get the upside of the market. Big deal. You can take those chips off the table anyway and lock that in. So I don't think that's a big deal. And other people say, well, there are fees with annuity. There's fees for everything. What's the fee on a bank CD? 0% interest. That's the fee. What's the fee for having money in the market? You could lose it. So you have to always do what's best for you. But I think everybody, especially approaching retirement or in retirement, has to lock some of that down for guaranteed income, just so you can sleep at night.
So what's wrong, Ed? 10-year U.S. Treasuries at between 1.5% and 2%. That's not enough guaranteed income to excite you? I'm not sure I understand.
What do you mean? That's a joke, right? Yeah. I was at one of the banks locally here had a promotion, and they said, we're going to pay you 10 times the interest that whatever other bank is going to pay. It didn't even come to 1%, 10 times.
Yeah. So 10 times 0 is still 0. That's right.
It's math. But you want to lock in guaranteed income. The whole point in retirement, you shouldn't be worried about running out of money and the stock market taking everything down the drain with you.
Yeah, good advice. Ed Slott, great advice. Ed Slott, Jeff Small, thanks so much for being back with us here on the show.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you for watching today's video, News About Annuities. If you enjoyed it, please click the thumbs up button to give us a like, and make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel for new content each and every week.